Welcome back to our channel again. So today in this video we're going to see something very interesting. Okay, so what are we going to see today is that we are going to create a multiple subnet using Terraform in Azure using for each. Okay, so in the last session, if you followed, so we have created a VNet using for each, and that we have created two VNets. Okay, so in this video we're going to create a multiple subnets. We're going to see how are we going to create a multiple subnets and how are we going to reference the that VNets, right? So so before going into that, let's see what is subnets. Okay, so the what is subnet? So subnets or subnetwork is a logical partition of a larger network that is broken into smaller and more efficient segments. Okay, so which means that so if you have a bigger network, which is VNet. Okay, so VNet, we have created it. So if you want to create a VNet, and so that's going to be a bigger network, right? So if you want to use that VNets, so whatever is there in that VNet networking, and we have to create a subnets. Without creating subnets, creating virtual machine, all these things is not possible. In any kind of a cloud, right? Like so we must be having a subnets. We have to divide it into multiple partitions. It can be a single partition itself, right? If you have a bigger VNet, okay, it can be a single partition itself, but it has to be created as at least one subnet. Then we can use those subnets to create a virtual machines or some other things, right? So what are we going to do now is that we're going to see the demo. Okay, if you followed my last video, okay, so the last video we have created a a VNet. Okay, so if you didn't watch the previous video, please watch that previous video to see how to create a multiple VNets using for each. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy, I'm going to replace it. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to replace this under variables. Okay, so I'm going to delete this one because in the last video we have seen, we don't need this particular configuration. Okay, so this is what the configuration, right? So what I can do is I can do, I can create a one more resource, okay, which is the subnet. So if you want to create a subnets, what I have to do is that let's go back to here and create that, Azure RM or subnet. Okay, so if you can give the Azure RM subnet over here, okay, so it's going to give you the resource like this. Okay, so we have to click on that particular resource initially. So now we have Azure RM resource is being over here. Okay, so now what I have to do is that we have to just follow the same thing like this, right? So there is nothing, so nothing major here. So what I have to do is that what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a resource. Okay, the resource is there, and I'm going to give the resource name. Okay, so this resource is going to be the Azure RM subnet. That's it. Okay, that's all I need. So it's going to be the name. Okay, so the cloud hyphen institution hyphen subnet. All right, so everything is good. Okay, you can just give any kind of different names. Okay, so that doesn't matter. So resource, Azure RM subnets and the cloud institution hyphen subnet. Okay, so we are going to give the name of the subnet. So name of the subnet is going to be, okay, so the name of the subnet is going to be anything. Okay, so I'm going to give subnet one. All right, so now, so resource group name. Okay, so resource group name is going to be, we already given resource group name. Resource group name is going to be resource group dot cloud dot name, because we have already defined the resource group over here. Okay, so I'm going to copy this one. All right, okay, so now it has been done. So now it's going to be virtual network name. Okay, so now I'm going to give the VNet name. So VNet name should be whatever the VNet is already been created. Okay, so what is the VNet name which we have created in the last video? So VNet name is going to be cloud-institution. Cloud-institution is the VNet name. Okay, so I can go back here. I can give that name called cloud-institution. Okay, so and we need one more thing. Okay, so what is that? Address prefix. We need to have address prefix to create a, so to create a subnet. So if you notice closely, right? So we are creating a subnet. Okay, that subnet should be part of a VNet, right? So we need to give the the subnet with the so whatever the, so we need to give the CIDR range that is been matching with this configuration. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy this one, I'm going to paste it like this one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make it like 28. Okay, so this is kind of a, so this is kind of a logical partition. What I'm going to do here is that, what I'm going to do, so I have a vnet, which vnet. Okay, so as you can see here in the console, as you can see here, okay, it is the vnet. Okay, this is the vnet. It has address range of 10.0.0.0/24 is there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to divide some of the, some of the subnets with some kind of a range. Okay, so the range is going to be 28, which means that I'll be getting out of, 256 IP addresses, I'm going to be getting like 16 IP addresses of the range for this one. Okay, okay, so now it's well and good. Okay, now I'm going to do Terraform plan. Okay, before doing Terraform plan, I'm going to do Terraform format. Okay, so Terraform FMT. So what happened is that if you do Terraform FMT, is going to be giving the proper alignment of the, the code, right? Okay, so if I do Terraform plan, okay, so if you do Terraform plan, so what's going to be happening is going to be creating the subnet. Okay, so the subnet will be creating, okay, but that the subnet will be created under the virtual network name is going to be this cloud institution. Okay, that's the vnet. Okay, so this, the name of the subnet is going to be subnet 1, right? So well and good. Now what I'm going to do is that we are going to do the same thing just like what we have done in for each for this one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy this. So for each, I'm going to paste it over here. Okay, so this is the configuration which we already know from the for each, right? So now here I've given a var.vnets. So the name of the resource is going to be, okay, so each dot, okay, value dot, okay, name. So what are we going to do is that we're going to change it to for each to vnets. Okay, so now we are having the vnets as a variables. We need to change it to subnets because the vnet is the variable that has been created for virtual network here. Okay, so the subnet is going to be the new variable. Okay, so now the virtual network name we can just give. Okay, I'm going to give this like this. Virtual network name is going to be cloud institution. Okay, it's good. Now I'm going to give as a each dot value dot each dot value dot vnet name, vnet name. Okay, and then the address prefix is going to be a each dot value dot address prefix. Okay, so how simple is this? Now if you can go back and create, we want to create a same kind of configuration what you have done for each in the in this. So for each like this for a vnet, right? Now I'm going to create a another variable here. Okay, and then the variable is going to be variable, and then the variable name is going to be subnets. Fair enough. Okay, so now it's going to be the type is going to be, okay, so map of objects. Okay, so the same thing what you have done previously, we have to give the same thing over here as well, right? So I'm going to give the name is going to be, I want the name to be string. Okay, and then the virtual network name, the vnet name, I need the vnet name is also to be a string. Okay, because that is a string. Okay, now, okay, now address space, address address prefix. Address prefix is not a string, but address prefix is a list of string. All right, so fair enough, everything is good. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give the default values for this one. Okay, so default, okay, the subnet 1. So I'm going to create a subnet 1. Okay, the subnet 1 is going to be I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to paste it over here, and that I'm going to see that what's happening. Okay, now the name of the subnet is going to be, I'm giving cloud institution hyphen subnet 1. Okay, the virtual network name is going to be, so what is the virtual network name which you have created here? Cloud hyphen institution. Okay, the address prefix is going to be list of, okay, 10.0.0.0/28. Okay, this falls under the VNet whatever we have created over here. Okay, it comes under this range. Okay, so okay, now everything is good. Now let's create a one subnet from here. Okay, let's see how it's going to be working here. Now if you can do Terraform plan. Okay, so the object doesn't have a attribute named VNet underscore name. Okay, so now what we can do is, okay, so what we have done, the mistake here is that, okay, so virtual network name is going to be each.value.vnet name. Okay, so here the value is going to be vnet name instead of virtual network name. Okay, so here also the virtual network name, or what you can do is you can also change it over here, so you can just change it to vnet name to virtual network name. Okay, so either way it's gonna fix the error. So whenever you're working in Terraform, you should be very careful about all these kind of configurations, so whenever there's some kind of small changes also will lead into the bigger errors. So now it's going to create a subnet. Okay, the subnet name is going to be subnet 1. Okay, so subnet Terraform apply. Okay, so now as you can see here, let's go back here inside. So if you see subnets, okay, there is no subnets so far, and it's going to be creating the subnets. As soon as we give yes, it will create a subnet. Okay, subnet will be creating. So the subnet should be available in a fraction of a second. Okay, so that is available now. Okay, so one subnet is created. Now if you want to create another subnet again, what I have to do, you have to copy the same thing. Okay, and then paste it over here, paste it, and then that's going to be subnet 2. Okay, then the name of the subnet is going to be cloud issue subnet 2. Okay, and the VNet name is going to be the same. Okay, so because we are going to create the VNet, sorry, subnet under this VNet, right? So the address prefix, so what's going to be address prefix? Now we already utilized this address space. Okay, so we need to change it to 16 over here. I'm going to give the next IP range of this one. Okay, this is called, so we are just dividing the bigger network into multiple partitions. Okay, now if you can go and do a Terraform apply again. Okay, you give yes. Subnet 2 is creating. If you can go back here, till now it was there was only one subnet. Now if you refresh it, and you must be seeing subnet 2 will be created. Okay, so this is how we can create a multiple subnets, so multiple subnets using the Terraform for each loop. Okay, so now let's copy this and save it, and then we have put it in our variables. Okay, so now this is what it is. Okay, now as you can see, we have just changed the configuration to here. So now in this, until this configuration, we have just created, so virtual network, and then the subnets. These two things are created. Okay, in the next upcoming video we're going to see a lot of different resources, how to create to Terraform. We'll be seeing all this stuff. Okay, so that's all from this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. So please share this video if you to your friends if you like this. Okay, so thank you so much guys, and see you in the next video.